I hope this message finds you in good health and good spirits. As you are aware, Governor Whitmer has provided a roadmap for schools to safely reopen this coming fall. We're very excited about this face-to-face instruction opportunity because, quite frankly, we miss our kids. We also recognize that face-to-face instruction may not be for every student, and as a result, we are going to also provide an online platform for our parents and students in addition to our face-to-face instruction. There'll be more on the online platform in the coming days. Recently, we sent out a survey to all of our parents, and thank you for those who responded. And what we did is we went through those responses, and we kind of created what I would call a common theme or frequently asked questions. And so my purpose of today's communication is to provide a little bit of information and perhaps a snapshot of what we believe schools are going to look like this coming fall. It is important to note, however, that based on the phase identification, things can change. And if we've learned anything through this period of time, is that things change potentially on a daily basis. We're hoping that soon things will change in a very positive way so that we can relax the restrictions and come back and provide as much normalcy as possible. So we'll keep our thoughts and prayers and hope that that comes soon. So with that, I'm going to kind of give us the top 10 questions that seem to be out there. I'll also provide another link later that has a list of frequently asked questions that we continue to add to. I think we're at 25 right now, and I think that will give parents a little bit more comfort in knowing what we are doing to prepare for this coming fall. So with that, here's your top 10. Without a doubt, the number one question that has been asked: are my students required to wear face masks? The answer is absolutely. So the governor's order in phase 4 indicates very specifically that we are required to follow this mandate. So when students go to get on a bus, then they are required to wear a face mask. All students, K through 12, when they're in hallways and common areas, are required to wear a face mask. For elementary students, K through 5, if the cohort is being kept together throughout the course of the day and separate from other classes, then students are not required to wear face masks. It is our intention for our kindergarten through 5th grade to keep that cohort separate. So as a result, students will not be required to wear a face mask K through 5 while being taught in the classroom. Grades 6 through 12 are required to wear a face mask during their classes. Next question would be, will we continue to provide transportation? The answer is yes. As indicated, students will be required to wear a face mask when being transported by a bus. Parents still always have the option to self-transport, and of course, because you're going to be with your own family, you won't have to wear a face mask in the morning commute. Additionally, will students be able to have recess? Obviously, this is more of a elementary grade question, but the answer is yes, they will have recess. As indicated, we want as much normalcy as possible, and we know that our students need to interact with each other, and more importantly, have fun and be kids. So recess will be offered for our elementary students. If their group is going to be with the same classroom, they won't have to wear face masks while on the playground. If we have multiple classes on the playground, then students will be required to wear face masks. Will students eat lunch in the classroom? The answer is no. Students will not eat lunch in the classroom. Students will go to the cafeteria. At the elementary, we already have a plan in place that will separate the various classes and provide the ample social distancing where students can eat comfortably, but they'll be eating with their own classroom. At the secondary level, both the junior high and high school, students also will be eating lunch in the cafeteria. Additionally, at the high school, as an added safety feature, we have added a third lunch period. This will really separate the number of students in the cafeteria, and as you know, our cafeteria is very large, so it will allow the opportunity to create a better social distancing footprint in our cafeteria. Will school be taking any additional steps to bolster their cleaning protocol? The answer is yes, and it's required. In the course of the day, there will be multiple times where custodial staff will be cleaning commonly touched areas, and I'm talking about door handles, light switches, pencil sharpeners, bathrooms, things of that nature. Additionally, at the secondary level, the student desks will be cleaned and disinfected on the hour, every hour. At the elementary level, the same thing. We're going to be doing commonly touched areas frequently throughout the course of the day as required by the governor's executive order. What happens if a student gets ill during the course of the day and exhibits symptoms of COVID? So certainly we know that flu season is potentially coming up as well, and there could be a lot of commonalities with the symptoms. However, as a result, we're going to take extra precautions. When the students demonstrate various symptoms, we're going to make certain that we quarantine immediately in an area so that they don't expose other students. Additionally, that student and the staff that is responsible for overseeing them will be given N95 masks, which is an added protective layer for our students. And then we'll contact the parent, and the parent will be required to transport home. When a student who has experienced COVID symptoms demonstrates such symptoms, when will they be able to return to school? This is a great question. We are following the lead of the health department and local and state officials in terms of this requirement. So first and foremost, are students required to be tested? The answer is no. We cannot require a student to be tested. We will encourage parents if we feel that their student has demonstrated symptoms that are similar to COVID. It just makes good sense. However, it's not required. And the student who does demonstrate illness, and whether they're in school or their parents call and say they have these symptoms, they'll be required to remain home for the 10-day period from the onset of the symptoms. And additionally, they have to demonstrate no fever for 3 days, and obviously we want the student only to return when they're feeling better. Temperature screening will also take place for those students when they are returning to school to make sure that we have a little bit more comfort level in terms of their return. What other safety precautions has the district taken? And I'm going to read this list because it's a big one. So first and foremost, only essential staff and employees will be working with our students. Unfortunately, at this time, classroom volunteers will not be able to assist while in Phase 4. Visitors that come to our school, even that includes our parents, will be restricted to the main office area only. Our preschool, latchkey, and Great Start programs will use the separate access to the buildings that we have. Personal protective equipment such as face masks, face shields, and protective barriers like plexiglass and things like that will be provided to teachers and staff. Lunch will be served by our cafeteria employees, and we will not have a self-serve option for our students to engage. Offices will be limited as the number of individuals permitted in the office at one time. Social distancing will occur whenever and wherever possible. Additionally, we'll implement COVID self-health screening for all staff, implement one-way hallways, provide hand sanitizing station in each classroom, temperature screening for students who show signs of illness, and have teachers move from class to class rather than the students whenever feasible. Obviously, this can occur more easily and readily at the elementary level. It's a little bit more difficult at the secondary level. And hence, that's why we'll be cleaning the desks on the hour, every hour. As I indicated before, will the district have online learning opportunities for students? The answer is yes. As a result of our parent survey, we know that there will be students who parents don't feel comfortable at this time returning. So we will provide that option as well. We'll also create hotspots at each of our campuses so that those individuals that don't have reliable internet can at least come up to the parking lot, upload, and then go home, work offline, and then when they come back, they can download, and so that we can readily assess and grade our students' performance. And then lastly, will these restrictions that we've talked about be implemented throughout the entire year? The answer is, I hope not. We know that the governor's plan allows for some flexibility in terms of phase identification. As our state and country get better, we'll start moving to phase 5 and then hopefully phase 6, which are much more relaxed, and in phase 6, no restrictions whatsoever. But we're also cognizant of the fact that we could be going back to phase 3, which would be no face-to-face instruction. So today I provided the top 10, what we believe were the common themes of the survey. And I have a list of about 22 that I'll also send out a link for parents that talk about special education, athletics, and a host of other things. I did not want this to be an all-inclusive documentary or TV production for our parents. So hopefully you've been able to bear with me for about this last 11 or so minutes. I would ask that any folks that have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me in my office. My extension is 810-387-3231, and my direct extension is 7263. As you can imagine, we are extremely busy during this period of time, but please know I will return calls. Additionally, you can always send out emails to me, and you can find that on our website, which is www.ypsd.us, and you can find my email there, or simply it's knicholl, Nicholl, at ypsd.us. I thank you very much for inviting me into your living room today. I hope this answers a few of the questions and put parents a little bit more at ease. I can assure you of this. Our kids are our most precious commodity that our community and our society has. We don't want to miss out on the opportunity for our students to be educated appropriately and properly. And in my heart, I know that Yale Public Schools will do the absolute best job that they can for your child, whether it's face-to-face or virtual. Last year, we stopped on a dime, like every other school district in the state of Michigan, and we were able to provide learning opportunities for our students. But I will tell you, just as our staff will tell you, it fell short in terms of what our students deserve. Don't get me wrong, I believe our teachers did an amazing job in such a short turnaround time to really provide opportunities for our students not to have learning gaps or learning loss. But we know that the best thing for our children is to have a quality teacher instructing them on a day-to-day basis. And I will tell you this, our teachers are the best in not only the county, I would challenge best in the state of Michigan. So with that, go Bulldogs, keep safe, stay healthy, and if you have any questions or concerns, reach out. Let's take care of one another, shall we?